Hi everyone, welcome back to Acres of Clay Kitchen, and today I'm going to talk to you about canning. And I'm going to show you something to look out for. I'm going to share with you guys. I wasn't going to at first, but then I decided I was going to. So, here I am. Okay, so I was gifted, I guess you could say I was gifted because I didn't pay for these. I was gifted about 6 dozen mason jars. And these mason jars were filled with food because the person that they originally came from, it's a long story, but this person passed away, and so the family kind of distributed the jars to other people. So it's a very long story, but to make it short, I got 6 dozen. I actually didn't know the person who passed, but through friends I was able to get some of these jars. I knew the family, I just didn't know the family well. So long story short, I got about 6 dozen jars that were filled with mainly meat. Okay, so there was a lot of different stuff, but most of it was meat related. So I thought, okay, well, I will, check it out and see, if it's worthy of keeping or not. But when I went to pick up the jars, I realized that there's no way my family is going to eat this food, and I will show you exactly why here in a second. So most of this food is going to go to waste, and I'm going to explain to you what I noticed through this person's canning, and what I would do different and what I do different as far as canning goes. The first reason why I will not be eating this food. Okay, so this is the first reason. See all this rust? When your lids, first of all, they are stored with their rings on. I never store with my rings on. If I do, it wouldn't be this tight. So many of these jars I can't get the rings off of, and they've just rusted. So that tells me there was moisture. There's moisture wherever these were kept, okay? And when they're so rusty like this, there is the potential of the jars losing their seal. So listen. This jar is not sealed, which brings me to the next thing. If you looked close enough, there's mold in there. And I think I have a better one somewhere. This one right here. Okay, rusted, nasty. This thing is just full of mold. It's disgusting. So I'm going to clean this out, but if I can get the lids off, I may need a guy's help for this. But okay, so that's the main reason why we're not going to eat it. Number 2, if you look at any of these jars, there's nothing labeled. So I have no idea how old this food is. Not that that really matters to me, because there's stuff in my pantry that's several years old, but I still know what it is and when I made it. This, I don't even know what it is. It came in a box like this. It came in this box, but how do I know that this box is, this box, it came in a box, and the box has a sticker that says breakfast sausage. But how do I know that these haven't been switched all over? This could be hamburger. It kind of looks like hamburger to me, but it's hard to tell. And I can also, here's another one that's super moldy. Oh. So I'm going to clean these out, but the next thing I noticed was, I'm trying to get the lid off of this. Oh, this one's loose. Okay. Poof. Okay. So the next thing I noticed with these jars is not only did he or she did not take the rings off, they didn't wash the outsides of the jars when they came out of the pressure canner. And you can tell because there's just food. I can't probably show it to you, but there's like a residue all on the outside of, left on from the pressure canner. You can tell if a jar has been washed and then put away. So I think it's kind of poor canning habits not to label and not to wash your jars. I like my jars to look nice, and I like to know what's in them and when I canned it. So to me, that's very important. Anyways, that's just a canning tip for any of you who may inherit jars. Just be careful. I didn't know the people that actually canned this food, so I'm really not going to risk me eating this, because how do I know that she followed the directions to a T, you know, and was very cautious when she canned it. So I'm not going to put my family at risk of eating this. I don't know how she handled the canning process. So that's a key for me. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and open these up. Show you here. I'm going to try opening these. This one is sealed. Okay, but you can tell that they're super rusty. I'm going to wear gloves because this kind of grosses me out, but we're going to see if this is actually what breakfast sausage like the box says. And then I will not keep the rings or the lids on this. So those will go into the trash. This here, oh goodness. So it's packed in tight. This does not smell like breakfast sausage. To me, this smells like hamburger, and it has a consistency of hamburger. Another thing, if you'll notice, very, very small amount of liquid. Most of it is exposed to just nothing, dry air. So if you see this one, there's no liquid. It's just meat floating in there with mold growing in it. So the next thing that tells me is a lot of the juices that came from this meat, if this was raw packed, it siphoned back out, because you should have quite a bit of juice in your meat, not just a little bit at the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is put all the meat in this pan, then I will dispose of it. So then probably some of you are wondering, well, why in the world go through all that trouble just for a jar? Well, you know, 6 dozen jars, that's 72 jars, and that's a lot. That's a lot of money. If they're like $12 to $13 for a dozen of them, you know, that adds up. So I'm always, ooh, that was loud. I'm always willing to. I would definitely be willing to clean up nasty jars to save myself $1. It's just who I am, and kind of be frugal that way. And I'll show you these jars. Man, this meat is tough. Okay. This reminds me of dog food. I don't know why, but dog food or cat food. These jars clean up really, really nice. Here, I have a whole bunch that I've already done. So I've already washed and cleaned out and washed a whole bunch of them. And you can tell they're just like a brand new jar. So just make sure, you know, that there's no nicks or cracks in it, and these are good to go for the next canning session. So I just wanted to bring you along and show you what I was doing today. How am I going to get that off? Sometimes tapping it works. Sometimes. Oh, it did work. Okay, good. Okay, so this one is completely rusty. Can I just pry it up? No. So this is one reason why I do not leave my rings on. Oh, that's disgusting. Okay, there's one reason why I do not leave my rings on my jars, because if you do get an improper seal, it does, some of them do break their seal, but some of them, if the ring is on tight, it won't break the seal. But yet there could be microscopic air and bacteria getting in here without you even knowing it. So when I take my rings off, I know when one doesn't seal properly. Okay, my ring isn't holding it down. So that's why I always take mine off. A lot of you guys ask that. And a lot of people have been trained to leave the rings on. It's pretty much how you're brought up also. This one may need a guy. Oof, goodness. So anyways, this one here, this one might be breakfast sausage with some mold. Let me show it to you. Look at this. That's a nice helping of mold. Yuck. Don't let your pets eat this because you don't want your pets to get sick either. So nothing, this is not suitable for food, okay? They definitely packed these well. That's all I can say. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Probably grossed you out enough.